Hello everyone. Today's day is going to be very interesting. Why? Because I'm here with a story, and what's better than to learn from experiences of real people. कहानियाँ सुनना हमेशा अच्छा लगता है ना, और सच्ची कहानी हो तो और मज़ा आता है। आज मेरे साथ हैं कर्नल राजेश भुक्कर सर, who is the director of Army Welfare Placement Organization, Rajasthan. I'm so honored to have him here with us. He has completed his schooling from Sainik School Chittorgarh, followed by National Defence Academy. He has been instrumental in serving India in various different terrains, to the extreme desert, to the chills of the Himalayas. Not only this, considering his passion to serve the nation and the society, he keeps on doing wonderful work with the NGOs and other organizations to bring out the best value. Hello sir, very good morning and thank you so much एक चांस देने के लिए, आपसे बात करने के लिए. इट्स ऑलवेज अ लर्निंग एक्सपीरियंस जब हम एक्सपीरियंस लोगों से बात करते हैं, एंड प्रिसाइसली अ पर्सन हु हैज़ बीन इन आर्मी फॉर सो मेनी ईयर्स. Because for today's generation, I think one very important thing to learn is the discipline and the consistency that they have to bring in this life. Considering इतने जो distractions हैं, हम IT world में रह रहे हैं, now we are just entering the AI era. So I think this is going to hold lot of value. और आपका एक्सपीरियंस जो है वो मेरे साथ और सबको भी बहुत मदद करने वाला है. Yeah.
Thank you, Smriti. Good morning to you. And it's a pleasure that I got to talk to you even after interaction of almost 6-7 months. But today it's really pleasure that we're sitting across and talking something which maybe somehow may be useful to somebody else.
Sure sir, thank you for giving that opportunity. तो सर, आर्मी ने आपको बहुत कुछ सिखाया होगा. I mean, let's start by कितने साल का आपको एक्सपीरियंस है, आप यहाँ पे आपने एंटर कैसे किया, और बहुत सारे बहुत अच्छे एक्सपीरियंसेस रहे होंगे. some of the two best if you can narrate.
See, before army I'll say I am a Sainik School product. I got admission at the age of 9 years in Sainik School Chittorgarh. From there I moved on to National Defence Academy, and thereafter 22 years of Indian Army. So if you really ask me, it's more than 3+ decades that one has been in uniform. And army, I'll say, is frankly a way of life.
I agree, a way of life.
It's a way of life. Because you start with force discipline, and you train and train and train. Somewhere down the line, you find that you have migrated from this force discipline to self-discipline.
Wow, I think that's a key takeaway. Force discipline,
training
to self-discipline. Yeah. I think that's a very key takeaway for today's generation, because when we ask my daughter or other children as well to do something, they feel that why we forced to. And I think that's very psychological. In our age, we also felt the same, that this is a forced discipline, and why are being told to do so. हमें ऐसा क्यों करना है, क्यों करना चाहिए. And so how does it transform into self-discipline? वो बताइए.
I'll tell you, like, there are some feelings which are absolutely, they can't be expressed for that moment. Like first day when you swim or you learn to swim, first day when you find that you're driving a 4-wheeler without being supervised. So that means you're on your own. Now with Sainik School, National Defence Academy, Indian Army, there are systems which are target oriented, and they have no option but to perform. So they make their own people train every day. And that force discipline over a period of time, when you merge with training, your instant reactions or natural reactions in life become part of self-discipline. I'll give a simple example. Initially, we always believe that somebody has to come and wake us up. Over a period of time, you realize that if you slept with a particular target time in your mind, you got up on your own. Now, this is migration into a self-discipline. Your body starts telling you what to do.
So basically, you start with your mind.
With your mind.
You practice, and then your body tunes it into a habit.
And that migration gives you, it's like life is wonderful thereafter.
So migration gives freedom, can we say that?
Everything. It gives you freedom, because then now you're enjoying what you're doing. Absolutely. There's no supervision, there's no force on you. It's just that it comes to you naturally. Like, what are small things? You move out of your house in a 4-wheeler, put a seat belt. It's a self-discipline.
Absolutely.
Wear a helmet. It's a self-discipline.
So I've always believed that yes, discipline leads to freedom, and that's what you're saying. So discipline is not to tie anyone.
No, it doesn't.
Discipline actually is a way to liberate.
Yes, your body gets liberated from any directions because it starts automatically behaving the way you want it to behave.
तो ऐसे कोई दो experiences?
First, I'll come to one issue that when I joined National Defence Academy, I was a okay student, not very good but not very bad. And we all, the 3-4 of my school colleagues, we all failed in English exam by 0.5% or something. So we had a instructor with us, Mr. S.P. Gupta, and he called us and almost humiliated us and our school. Out of 5 of us, I was the only one who said, "Sir, sorry, can I request you to stop humiliating my school, because whatever we are today is all courtesy Sainik School Chittorgarh."
Wow, I think that is amazing.
And I promise you that I'll be topping this course before I pass out.
Wow.
And I took that challenge, keeping my school, who's made me what I was that day in 1982. I worked hard, the God was kind to me, and I topped my course in academics. Went back to present him those books which I got as book prizes. And I was amazed the teacher took back his words and had all the praises for my school. I think that was one turning point in my life, that I was just a normal student. If he can top an education institution on a challenge, any student can do what he wishes to or decides to achieve.
Amazing. And I think for me, one of the very key takeaway over here is you stood up and you told that particular person to stop, abusing the school. I think that was a very assertive way to do that. At times we feel a lot many things, but we are not able to say that. I think every communication is a good communication if it's communicated in a proper way, in an assertive way.
You got to work for it.
You got to work for it. It's a skill, right? It's a skill.
You cannot just say that I decided and I am not doing anything.
Exactly.
If you decide, then you got to do something about it.
Absolutely.
The second is a very small incident, but I think it conveyed a lot of things to my own Pulton, which is 199 medium regiment. Again, I owe whatever I am today to that unit.
What was that unit, sir?
199 medium regiment.
Okay.
There's a Pulton which I was commissioned and I commanded that unit, both in Siachen and Jodhpur. So
wow, so you've been to Siachen?
Yeah, I've been to Siachen.
Wow, I want to hear about that.
Yeah, and we, as a young handball, we were playing a match in brigade handball. As a young captain and as the captain of my team, I'll just tell you how I emerged as a leader from captain. We had a sportsman who had played for services, Bhoop Singh, and while playing somehow in the first half, I'll say that he did a foul and thereafter he misbehaved with the officer, Captain Ranga Rajan of another unit. The referee overlooked it. I stopped the game and I threw out that services player out of the team and said, "Sorry, go and sit on the bench." Now the action of mine was opposed by everybody from my unit, right from Jawan till commanding officer. Everybody said, "What the hell, the best player has been thrown out. What are you going to do about it? You're going to lose." I said, "Sir, lose or win is a different game, but I cannot have indiscipline in my team."
Okay, wow, lose and win is a different game, but we cannot have indiscipline.
And believe you me, after the second half commenced, we were at 2-2 with that unit. And the first 2 goals were scored by me. I took that lead by example.
This is so amazing, right? It is so nice to talk many things, but to lead by example. I mean, no one, like we say that actions always speak louder than words.
Right.
I always believe this has very minimalistic value. What your body shows, what your non-verbal communication is, that's always the best part. That's what you did.
I took that responsibility that from captain I became a leader. I scored those 2 first goals and we won that match 6-4 finally. Conveying to everybody that it's not how big a player he is. The army still stands for discipline.
मुझे यहाँ से बहुत अच्छी 3-4 चीज़ें समझ में आ रही हैं. आर्मी स्टैंड्स फॉर डिसिप्लिन फॉर श्योर, और एक चीज़ जो मुझे लगता है आर्मी स्टैंड्स फॉर टीम वर्क. जो आपने वहाँ स्टूड आउट किया कि इंडिविजुअल अपने आप में बहुत अच्छा हो सकता है, बट एक पूरी जो यूनिट, एक पूरी जो टीम होती है वो मैटर करती है किसी भी सिचुएशन में जाकर के, एंड दैट होल्ड्स द हाईएस्ट वैल्यू अगेंस्ट any best individual. Amazing. So for today's generation, how do you think discipline is going to enhance their growth in their future. हम एक 24/7 environment में काम करते हैं, उसमें एक steady state और discipline कैसे लाएं, क्योंकि our kids are growing in an environment who have been born in a technological era. They don't understand what is life without internet.
Yeah.
And they understand when they see us working 24/7 round the clock. So how do we, dwell this value of discipline and coming into the mindset?
Okay, Smriti, today is a very, very competitive world. The opportunities are too many, but then the competitors are also far too many.
Absolutely.
Now, I personally feel the present generation need to worry on three aspects. The first and foremost thing is that whatever age or stage a person, self-analysis is the most important thing.
Self-analysis,
He has to
investigation,
do
identification.
everything. What's my capabilities? What am I up to? What am I representing? What is my goal? Where am I going? The second point, like I said, self-analysis is a whole lot of things that includes about on individuals, and it will bring up who you are today.
And what you want to do.
What you want to be there, there's a gap. In that gap comes that your effort, your time. Now the present generation have forgotten, overlooking two things. They're wasting time. Wasting time because you find so many of them on mobile. Look at I wish there was an indicator to tell them that the 6 hours spent on mobile had only 22 minutes which were useful.
There are many, but I think it's hardly being used
Because
because it's not important.
I'm not talking about everybody.
Yeah.
I'm talking about most of us.
Most of us.
Most of us.
Because we are probably unconsciously
Working.
Yes.
Number two is we are forgetting ethics. The ethics are going down.
Okay.
We unless the present education system start talking of ethics right from class 1, your future generation may be successful, but they are not guaranteed to be happy generation.
The key takeaways are the ethics and the core values that cannot be compromised at any level.
At any level.
They were there,
They
are here,
they
and
will be there.
they will be there. So basically, rather than starting the education with ABCD 1, 2, 3, 4, the education has to start from ethics because that's the core.
Yeah.
And I think that's only builds a human being. That's what in future is going to differentiate human beings from robots. Believe me, otherwise
Yes.
it's going to be very tough.
Absolutely.
Sir, एक और example, because आज की generation में earlier there were bigger families, now we have smaller families, nuclear families, 1 kid, 2 kids as a max. So there is a challenge, and working parents. So they are lot of engaged in this technology and all. So I have seen a lack of teamwork. So how do we build up this value system? Because I believe a dot can be a dot in itself, it's perfect, but you only paint a picture when all dots come together to make something. How do we instill this value of teamwork?
Ma'am, I personally feel, let's take a very small example, that in a particular colony or in a particular school, there are 1, 2, 3 bright sparks and who are doing extremely well, and they have got a lot of wealth and everything is there. The rest of the people, say 90% plus of them, are barely surviving. This one environment, barely surviving. And the second scenario is where most of them are doing fine, they're closing in together, they're working together, they're helping each other, and bringing an environment which is much more conducive to live. Now, success-wise, maybe those individuals are very, very successful. But when it comes to the environmental happiness, this is a better picture. The team cannot be neglected. If you bring up 2 more people with you, trust you me, after some stage when you need people, you'll find them around. But if you don't bring up that 2, 3, 4, 5 people along with you, they'll be void.
So in today's language, if I tell you all, when we talk about teamwork, get out of this teamwork of the social media, get into actual teamwork. When you're building those, online friends, they can be thousands, they can be millions, you can have 1 million followers, but get those 10 followers who are real in life and who are going to stand for you. So this networking is very important. You'll remember and you'll experience it. As you start experiencing this, it only gets better.
Teamwork will fill that void, which is likely to come in time to come. because you
Which
get
is
too many
very
members.
inevitable.
Which is inevitable.
Which is
because
inevitable.
a time will come when only people who are successful just rise and others are left behind.
That's the void. It's a very inevitable situation
situation.
when you build your network and real people in your circle.
In circle, they will work for you.
They'll work for you, and then you stay longer and happier.
Happier.
It's amazing. Thank you so much. This was so insightful. मुझे लग रहा है मुझे को बहुत कुछ सीखने के लिए मिला है.
Before I go, I'll always give you 3 things with Indian Army which I learned in my
Yes,
life.
important.
Indian Army, there's always a saying that you may have rank, you will get a salute from hands. If you want a salute from heart, then you have to be leader.
Wow, I'm going to repeat that. If you have a rank, you will get a salute
from the hands.
From the hands.
But if you're a leader, you'll get a salute from the heart.
But if you are a leader, you'll get a salute from the heart. Isn't it beautiful?
Now,
this is beautiful.
3 things that we practice or preach or we really work on them in broad shoulders, large heart, and a clean head.
Broad shoulders, large heart, and a clean head. Amazing takeaways. Wow. I mean, I think I'm going to write them down somewhere.
Why I say this broad shoulders is because we have a system in Army when they say that please go and do the work. If anything goes wrong, I'm responsible. It's my responsibility. So your shoulders have to be broad to accept whatever comes on you. If you do well, it's your take. Wonderful. Well done.
Amazing.
Number 2, large heart. Life or anywhere in any system, there's so many small things keep happening. You can't take them to your heart. You got to forget them.
Let go.
Let go.
Let go.
It doesn't work.
I think
you got to grow. You got to grow as a big man.
I think we're talking about all the core values as a human, as a way that makes us human. It is so beautiful.
Last thing is clean head. We clean up our houses. We clean up our bed. We clean up our bathrooms and all that. Do we ever clean up our head?
We forget.
We forget to clean up.
We're just accumulating here.
So much unwanted things are piling up here. Even if you clean up once a week, I'm sure you will have a good time in life thereafter.
Like we started with this first step that you said, self-analysis and investigation.
Yeah.
The moment that starts, this thing you'll identify that most things are
Army
necessary.
is one profession where your actions can cause somebody's life.
Yeah.
There are no retakes.
There are no retakes.
There are places you got to take decisions which will, like what you said, in a split of seconds, it may save or do a life. People look up to you for taking those decisions. So unless you have these things as an officer, it's very difficult to take unaltered decisions.
So I can't let you go before talking about Siachen. I heard that. I really want to know about it. A little bit.
See, India has around 5-6 places which are high altitudes. Most of the altitudes are same. Call it Sikkim, call it Joshimath side, call it Arunachal side, call it Leh Ladakh side, call it Kargil side, Siachen. All these places are called high altitudes. Now, typically everything is different in a altitude compared to normal altitudes. The life is much more difficult. Life is much more different. In a way, it is good also. Because I look at it from that point of view that you stay cleanest head in a altitude.
Yeah, there's nothing else to distract.
There's nothing distractions. You don't think anything beyond that. Today morning I got up, let me enjoy this day. Tomorrow morning I'll see.
Amazing.
I was head of operations and training in Kargil division for 2.5 years. Okay. And that time the firing used to be on with Pakistan and all. Every day morning was challenging, but it was not tiring.
Challenging but not tiring. That is interesting.
It was not tiring. Same as Siachen. It is challenging but not tiring.
Wow.
The government takes care of you. Your own people, men around you, they take care of you. You're very sure that somebody is here to hold my hands.
I mean, that's such a wonderful feeling, right? That's such a wonderful
There's somebody to hold your hand. In your own person, your Jawan, your JSUs, your officers, everybody is there to hold your hands. It's not like peace where people pull your legs. Nobody pulls your leg there. They push your legs and they hold your hands.
Wow.
That's what Siachen life is all about.
That's what Siachen is all about, right? So I think on this particular region, we can talk about all the values, and it sums up well, where you just connect with the nature, you connect with the people who are around you, and you are totally 100% dedicated to the task where you are there. You are not distracted at all, and it tests you beyond limits.
Beyond limits.
Amazing, sir. Thank you so much.
And not
This
at all. It's a
was
pleasure talking to you.
totally
And I
enriching.
keep seeing your posts and all. You're working very well. At least, even if you are conveying something to this young generation who really needs to be, they don't need to be tutored. They just need to be made aware of.
Made aware of. Very important.
Nobody
what
can
said.
teach anybody. It's very difficult to teach. Even a small kid. I have my granddaughter. Rather, she's the one who sometimes try to teach me. And I think I learn from her. But it's very difficult for me to teach her. I have to exemplify things to make her understand.
Absolutely. So it is a very important thing that you say. It's all about being aware because these things are already existing in us. The moment we start identifying and paying a little attention to it, the world plays its magic. I think. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Wow, what an amazing conversation this has been. मैंने तो बहुत कुछ सीखा और बहुत कुछ सीखना बाकी है. After all, life is all about experiences and all these storytelling is nothing other than making us aware and imbibing those positive things in our life. Thank you. Bye-bye.